afternoon. We'll call a regular meeting of the New Ulm Planning Commission, New Ulm, Minnesota, to order. It's Thursday, November 29th, 2018, 4:30 PM. Excuse my voice, it's kind of breaking away. Item 1 would be a public hearing. Consider the application of William Swan requesting a variance to reduce the size of the setback on Crestwood Lane side of the property from 30 feet to 18 feet on the parcel of the property legally described as Lot 2, Block 2, Country Club Addition, street address 1505 Southridge Road.
All right, in your packet, we have the request form filled out. It is a single-family residential district. Street address 1505 Southridge Road. The setback for the single-family for a front yard is 30 feet. And this is a unique property because it has 3 front yards with Southridge and Crestwood coming around on both sides. The applicant is looking to put up a 10 by 12 garden shed, 12 feet into the 30-foot front yard setback. You can see we have some aerial photos and some ground photos of where the proposed shed would be at. It would be along the driveway, setting back off the sidewalk that comes around the front of the house and the garage there. Be just set back of that and just off to the side of the driveway. Any questions?
Okay. Well, this is a public hearing. Anyone that wish to speak on the matter, please come to the mic and state your case. Anyone? Okay, if no one wishes to speak, I recommend closing the public hearing. Take action accordingly.
Yes. Question for staff, any written or oral responses?
No, I received none, no.
I'm just gonna note, just looking here, in years past, from 2007, 2011, and 2016, we did similar variances were granted, you know, with reduced front yard setbacks, so I guess I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it. Also, one question there, is that going to be one of the, just setting there? Is it going to be anchored to a cement slab or?
Well, it'll be a portable shed. It'll be just sitting there, but it'll have to be anchored for wind load. Is what we require on the portable sheds like that.
That is a unique block, no question about it.
Yep.
So.
And everybody's got more and more toys, or you need equipment and things from the air of the home, so.
I'd make a motion to approve the variance.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second approving the variance as requested. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. One question, did we skip minutes on our agenda?
Yeah, there are no minutes from the last meeting.
No?
They weren't-
Okay.
they weren't completed.
prepared.
All right. Item 2, consider the approval of the preliminary and final plot of the Cottonwood Street right-of-way.
Okay, this is a different type of plat. To my memory, we've only done one other one like this. It was on an extension of 5th North Street to the west of North Highland Avenue. So there are no lots or blocks. The applicant is the City of New Ulm. The current legal description of the property is fairly long. If you want me to, I'll go through it. If you don't, I
We've all
won't.
got copies of it, so.
Okay, very good. Street address is 600 to 1226 Cottonwood Street. You will note that there are 5 different zoning districts that this property is zoned, since the zoning district extends to the middle of the street. This plat designates the location of the right-of-way of Cottonwood Street from South Broadway to Boundary Street. The width of the right-of-way in the original town plat was 60 feet. The city has attempted to increase the width of this right-of-way to a minimum of 80 feet. This has generally been accomplished through the dedication of property for street purposes during the platting process, the acquisition of property for right-of-way purposes, so that's a purchase, and the acquisition of property for other purposes and subsequent dedication of a portion of that property for street purposes. Also designated on the plat are permanent construction easements from the properties abutting each side of Cottonwood Street from South Broadway to Butternut Street. The easements allow the city to grade, level, fill, drain, pave, build, maintain, repair, and rebuild a road or highway together with such bridges, culverts, utilities, ramps, backfill, slopes, and cuts as may be necessary. So the reason we included that easement on the plat is that it is the equivalent of allowing for the construction of a new street. So we thought it was important to at least designate it or show it on the plat. The plat also identifies one area where the city has not secured property to provide the necessary 80-foot width. This piece of property is located on the south side of Cottonwood Street and is located in Outlot 425. The city anticipates acquiring this property when the next phase of street improvements occur on Cottonwood Street. The length of Cottonwood Street included in the plat is 0.71 miles. So attached is a copy of the plat as well as an aerial photo of the property. If you look at the aerial photo, you'll note that there are black dashes on, that should actually read South Broadway. And then in the vicinity of 225, 225th Street, on top, on the bottom of the page, you'll see another black dash, and that's where it ends. So the staff would recommend approval of the preliminary and final plat with no conditions. Since the plat only involves city right-of-way areas, preliminary and final plat approval are requested at the same time. Then potential motions are provided, one motion to approve and one to deny. That concludes the staff report.
Okay.
Dave, have any residents been notified of our preliminary plot to have a?
In a case like this where we're dealing with, this is property that the city already owns, so we wouldn't typically notify residents of something like this.
But for future land acquisition, did we just talk with them about putting it on the plot, or?
Well, when plats were approved for, there's a number of plats that were approved in this area. As part of the plat, a segment would be shown as being dedicated for street purposes. And so people, when they signed the plat, would have been aware that a portion of their property is going to be dedicated for street. We also would have discussed it with them prior to the start of the platting process that we wanted to acquire, a 10-foot strip for that purpose.
Thank you.
Anything else? Can we get a motion?
I'll make a motion to recommend approval of the preliminary and final plat of Cottonwood Street.
Second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second of approving the request. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 3, received a report of City Council decision concerning Planning Commission matters in November.
I'm looking for my, I can't find my sheet. Help me out. So at the first meeting in November, there were a number of planning commission items that were considered. So there were, I think, 2 variances. One was for,
It a German?
well, the public hearing on that plat was held and that was approved, the Ittinger plat. But we also approved 2 simple lot divisions down on Linden Street, and those have been recorded, and you will be seeing a street plat for that area, since that has never been done. And you also will see one for Second North Street as part of that. So there'll be a short segment of Linden and then a longer segment of Second North. There was a public hearing held on the Depot Second Edition. That was at the last city council meeting. That plat has been fully signed. Boy, we did that in about 3 hours this morning. And they're going to close apparently on Monday. So that transaction is proceeding. So I think those are the actions that the commission was involved with, that the council took action on in the past month.
The next plot won't be ready in December, will it?
The street plat, I don't know. I talked to the land surveyor, but at this point, he didn't commit to a time frame in which this was going to take place.
Okay.
Also, at this time, I neglected to do this at last month's meeting. I'd like to introduce John Nisley. John has joined city staff. He has his title is planner, so he works, I would say 50-50 with Elwood and myself. So he's doing some building department functions, and he's doing some community development department functions. And so we're very pleased to have him with us, and we look forward to being able to get some more things accomplished with his presence.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
And you can expect probably to hear from him giving future staff reports and the like.
Okay.
Just so it doesn't run a long time. You're already getting requests, John.
Okay, item 4, receive report from the Heritage Preservation Commission.
We did not have any items for a meeting this month, but we should be receiving a 75% complete assessment report on the Herman Monument here yet this week. And work towards our 100% complete here in a couple months. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Then we have another item that's not written down here. Mr. Mayor Blazeman would like to take a few minutes of time.
It comes around every so often that this time of the year is when people tell me that they've got 6 years in, and I have to tell them that I can't give them 6 more. Not right away. We can take a year off, and we can start all over again, Cheryl. So this is, Planning Commission presents this recognition award to Cheryl Meyer for serving to the Communities by Service on the commission, and being a member from November 2012 to December 20th, 2018, excuse me. And it's given today, the 27th day of December. Cheryl?
See, I did a little over 6 years. See, there's an extra
Thank
2
you,
months
Cheryl.
in there.
I follow you in every commission.
I don't-
You put that on your calendar to take your year off, so you know when that is. Okay,
I'm sure the mayor will remember.
really.
I think you filled in for somebody.
I think I did, I don't remember who.
Didn't count.
What's the speculation that we'll have a meeting in December? End of the year, last,
But
I currently don't have any items. I'm not aware of any items that would be forthcoming. But you don't know.
okay. Well, with that in mind, in case we don't have a meeting, and in case I leave, I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And hopefully we'll see you yet in December. Otherwise, January I'm gone, so.
Okay.
And whoever you elect as your chair or vice chair will have to run the ship.
Yep.
Anything else? If not, meeting adjourned.